Shalom, this is Shar Basrella, Elijah in Camp, located in Jacksonville, Florida. First and foremost, I'd like to praise, honor, and glory to the Father and the Son, and the proper true Hebrew tongue. Call Halam La, Yahweh Bashim Al Shai, Bashim Harakak Wadash Ma'amoth. Also, Daban to elders and apostles GMS, and Daban to my elder as well, Ahara Masrella. Peace and blessings 1/3, and say for elect. It's going to be a quick lesson because I have not did a lesson on it yet. Going into the new moon and seasons, the Lord, and it's going to be small because the seasons are a lesson within itself. Even the sun going down and the moon going down, going up, and the sun going down, going up. It's a lesson within itself as well. So that's the power of the Most High, in His Son as well. But I'm gonna go ahead and get this Ecclesiasticus chapter 43. I'm gonna start at verse. I'll say. Start at verse 5. Well, start at verse 2. Well, I will start at the beginning. It's Sirach chapter 43, verse 1. It says, "The pride of the height, the clear firmament, the beauty of heaven, with his glorious show. The sun, when it appears, declaring at his rising, a marvelous instrument, the work of the Most High. At noon, it parcheth the country, to make parch, to quench, to make colder or quench. It says parches, and who can abide by the, and who, it's like it. I said that wrong. I said parch. I'm gonna get that. I wrote that down wrong. Oh, okay. That was the wrong. I was wrong. I gave an incident, not a synonym. But it said parches to make extremely dry. So you say you're parched. That means you thirsty. Your throat is dry. I'm thinking about quench. Nonetheless, it says at noon it parches the country. Dries the country, and who can abide the burning heat thereof? A man blowing a furnace is in the works of heat, but the sun burneth the mountains 3 times more, breathing out fiery vapors and sending forth bright beams, and it dimmeth the eyes. You start looking like a hammer when you look at the sun too long. You can't look at it. You ain't never look at it, man. And imagine that the Lord's eyes is 10,000 times brighter than the sun. So that means you gotta be even his his creation is bright as his eyes is 10,000 times brighter than that. But we are also his creation, and just a kind of a point in the lesson is that those creations were made for his children. So you're not supposed to worship it or nothing like that, like the Meserites do, the Egyptians, or some of our people do. They worship the sun. That's not supposed to be. We are the ultimately we're the children of the Most High, Yahweh Bashim Al Shai, and we're the creation, and He has made a perfect creation, being having a perfect sacrifice of being Yahweh Shai, and we're ought to be made into that image as well, through the times and tribulations that we're going through today, So verse 5, great is the Lord that made it, and His commandment runneth hastily. He made the moon also to serve in her season for a declaration of times. So kind of, we're supposed to use moons as months. Moon mean month, It says, in a sign of the world, for the moon is a sign of feast, certain times of the year, we're in the Gregorian calendar, so there are 12 months. They're like at least 30 days almost in each month. So that's why it's like this. But by the actual calendar, by the lunar calendar, we're supposed to be set by every month, or certain months of the year, which are eight holy days that we're supposed to keep, and of course, Sabbath, the new moon, that's like every month, and it changes. And Those are times that we're supposed to celebrate feasts and holy days, such as Passover or Hanukkah or Sabbath. It says, "From the moon is a sign of feast, a light that decreaseth in perfection. The month is called after her name, the moon, increasingly wonderful in her changing, being an instrument of the armies above, shining in the firmament, the beauty of heaven, the glory of the stars, an ornament giving light in the highest places of the Lord, at the commandment of the Holy One, that they will stand in their order and never faint in their watches." So, comment, they're giving orders by Yahweh by Shemashai. Those are his creations, the sun and the moon. The earth as well, man. It changes on the it changes access. Creating the seasons. You know, but it's all of the earth and the moon and the sun. But those are all creations created by the Most High and His Son Yahweh. So I'm keep going. So Psalm chapter 104, verse 19. He appointed the moon for the seasons. The sun knoweth it's going down. So come, man. Suppose that the moon is appointed for seasons and months, signs of feast days. Not this calendar we have, which is the Gregorian calendar. We we go by the this flawed calendar. I think it was like, how long has it been in use? Shoot, I can get that. There we go. Gregorian calendar, October. Well, I think, I mean 8. So in like Greek or something like that. But yeah, around the 1500s. So, but it's a very flawed. It's like it's 12 months, even though it's supposed to be around like 13 to 14 months, going on the days. Evening to evening. But the days here are 24 hours. They count when the sun is up and when the moon is up as a whole day up until 12 o'clock at night, and it changes to the next day. But it's supposed to be from evening to evening, just like we do fasting. Um, yeah, fasting. Um, and how we do the days of like leaven the bread will be evening to evening. But of course, since we go by the Gregorian calendar, it kind of flips and flops because you kind of ultimately go by the new moon. And I'm going into partly, deifications, Julius Caesar, Augustus, to deify yourself, making that us sound, to deify yourself as a god, a king that rules forever. What they say on you see on movies, Long Live the King. They actually want the king to live forever. He wanted his servants to make him want to live, to make him live forever. But that's not gonna happen. They might live long, but they're not gonna live, forever. Their riches are gonna go back to the earth. Their body's gonna go back to the earth, as well. Their riches is gonna be spread out through amongst the whole world. You know, um, yeah, just like these months and days that we have, after uh, or after days of the week. And we just had Easter, come up, and that type of mindset has been in the been in the air for the minute now. And so it's just good to clear it up. That Easter, that's Ishtar going to the god of fertility, the queen of heaven. Because the Bible don't talk about nothing about bunnies pooping eggs. It does not talk about queen of heaven. Well, it's like it did not talk about celebrating the resurrection of Yahushua. It is not talking about celebrating the Queen of Heaven. That's for uh, the one Nebuchadnezzar. Yeah, but that's for Herod and everything. But this is Jeremiah chapter 10, verse 1. It says, Hear ye the word which the Lord speaketh unto you, O house of Israel. Thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathens are dismayed at the sign, or dismayed at them. So come in lightning, rain, what else? Lightning, rain, the sun, the moon, the ground, the waters. These are things that the heathens worship. As soon as they see it, how does it do that? How these big old waves, tsunamis, and everything? How does it happen? The Lord has created all of that. Those are all His creations. He also has created the heavens and the earth. He's created the sun, the moon, and stars. He created universes, other places, and there's out in the heavens for His children to explore. You know, uh, even how I said, His Father has created many mansions. There's out in the heavens. So there's places for His children to inhabit. You know, after this place is destroyed, after Jacob's trouble, after this place is destroyed, and even after the heathens have been properly punished after like 1,000 years. You can New Jerusalem can be purposely furnished throughout the whole universe. So these heathens are just made out of 2/3 of people are in the spirit of the heathens. They're Gentiles. They worshiping God. They worshiping these holy days. They worshiping Ishtar. The Queen of Heaven. Um, they worshiping Baal. But they're not supposed to be in that mindset, and that's what we're here for to get them out of their mindset. You know, and this is a Wisdom of Solomon. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 7. Once again talking about wisdom and knowledge that the Lord has given us. Um, for the things that he created. I'm sorry, verse 18, 16. For in His hand are both we in our words, our wisdom and knowledge of workmanship. For He have given me certain knowledge of things that are namely to know how the world was made in the operation of the elements, the beginning, ending, in the midst of time. So come, man. The Lord has allowed us to know what elements. You even got some of that in the scriptures. The elder did a lesson, did lessons on it. For in His hand are both. It's like it. For He have given me certain knowledge of things that are namely. It's like it. Verse 18, the beginning and ending in midst of times. So prophet, um, prophecy. To see things before you. We are given that wisdom and knowledge. Either ultimately through Yahweh Shai. We're allowed to know that in the beginning was Adam and Eve, Adamites, Evites, and the Lord created that, and we're allowed to know that the end all be all is going to be this place is going to be sent the MOTB, and this place can be destroyed by thermonuclear destruction, 200 million ICBMs. And of course, the midst of times, what's happening now, these tariffs, and everything that's going on in the news, even though it's news, and you might see it every now and then. Only people that's caring about it, or actually knows what's going to happen, is the men of the Lord. The men, women, and children that believe in Yahweh Shemashah. It says, the alternation of the turning of the sun and the change of seasons, the circles of stars and position of like the circles of years and position of stars. The natures of living creatures and the furs of wild beasts, the violence of winds, the reason of men, the diversity of plants and the virtues of roots, and all such things are either secret or manifest, them I know. So man is ultimately given to, I can read this shoot. 22, for wisdom, which is the work of all things, taught me, for in her is an understanding spirit holy, one only, manifold, subtle, lively, clear, undefiled, plain, not subject to hurt, loving the thing that is good, quick, which cannot be letted, ready to do good. These are all these things are condependent, steadfast, sure, free from care, having all power, overseeing all things, and going through all understanding, pure and most subtle spirits. So come, man. It's a wisdom, not understanding that the Lord has given to His men. He has created this whole universe. He has given that to His men to know that these are merely creations. Now, I ain't gonna say merely, but only creations that are creations, and it um, so what he's giving to his men is the same thing he created. It is the earth and the universe. So this is all for us. It's all for his children. You know, if you're a so-called Negro, Latino, Native American, speckled bird, then you are the nation of Israel, Hebrew Israelite. You know, you're not so-called black. You're not so-called Latina. You're not so-called Native American. You are Israelite. You know. So, and this is what the Lord has created for us. He has created the new moon. You know, the new moon they're going on Sunday to Monday right now. You know, that's how the new moon works. That's what it's for. That's what it's for, man. To do the Sabbath. It's not every Friday and Saturday, Sunday like IYC or GLCC do, man. It's about a new moon creation. You know, that's the times of seasons. You know, that's what we give holidays. It's holidays coming. Uh, well, really, I say past because it was celebrated early in the year, just like the Passat, the Passover. But nonetheless, after the little lesson, just going on a new moon and the creations, you know. So yeah. With that, the others out, I hope that's an edifying little lesson. At that, I want to say shalom.